you ever left a conversation feeling misunderstood, even though you were sure you explained yourself clearly? Miscommunication happens more often than we realize in the workplace, in our personal lives, and even in everyday interactions. And often, the issue isn't what we say, but how we say it and how it's interpreted. Today, I'm going to explain what communication styles are, how verbal and nonverbal communication shape how messages are understood, and how these factors can lead to miscommunication. First, communication styles. Communication styles are the consistent ways people express their thoughts, feelings, and needs. There are four main types: passive, aggressive, passive aggressive, and assertive. A passive communicator may avoid speaking up, while an aggressive communicator may come across too strong. Assertive communication, however, is clear, direct, and respectful. For example, in a workplace setting, a passive communicator may avoid speaking up in a meeting, while an aggressive communicator may dominate the conversation. An assertive communicator, on the other hand, is able to share their thoughts clearly while respecting others. This matters because how we communicate directly affects how others respond to us. Next, verbal and nonverbal communication. In addition to communication styles, the way we interpret messages influence both verbal and nonverbal communication. Verbal communication is the words we use, while nonverbal communication includes tone, facial expressions, body language, and eye contact. Sometimes these don't match. For example, someone might say, "I'm fine," but their tone and facial expression suggests something completely different. I think we've all experienced situations like that, where words and the tone don't match, and it leaves us unsure of what the person really meant. And that can cause misunderstandings. This leads to miscommunication. Miscommunication often happens because people interpret messages differently. This can be influenced by personal experiences, emotions, and assumptions. For example, I've had moments where I assumed someone's tone meant something negative, when in reality, that wasn't their intention. Moments like that can quickly create tension or confusion, even when that wasn't the goal. So it's not just about what we say, but how the other person receives and understands it. In closing, my communication style, along with verbal cues and nonverbal cues, play a major role in how messages are understood. And that goes for all of us. When we take the time to recognize these differences, we can better understand why miscommunication happens in everyday interactions. And in many cases, it's not that someone meant to communicate the wrong message. It's simply how it was received and interpreted. Because at the end of the day, communication is not just about what we say. It's about making sure the message is received and understood the way we intended.